In our previous session, we duplicated the first floor join element drawing for the ground floor join element drawing and made some edits. And this ground floor join element drawing is shown on the screen now with the edits that were made at the previous tutorial. But before going to the objective of this tutorial, which is drawing cross-section drawing for the ground floor arrangement drawing, I would like to make some edit which I missed in my previous tutorial. As you can see in the drawing, foundation walls were provided along the line A and along the line B. Along the line C, foundation walls were only provided at between grade C1 to 2. From grade C2 to 6A. From this point to this point, you can see there isn't any foundation wall details. So what I'll do quickly, I'm going to select this edge of the floor slab and I will copy it, duplicate it 230 mm upward to denote our 230 mm block wall. This line, this inner line will be depicted in hidden line property because it will be hidden below the ground floor slab. So I'm going to select this hidden line type match property on my screen and apply it to the hidden line to these lines. So we have 230 mm wide wall along the line C. I'm going to delete this label because we don't need it. So this label here denotes we have a 230 mm wall along the line C. So I've done with that edit. Now we will draw the section drawing for the ground floor joint arrangement drawing. We have section A and section BB. Our last section label at fourth floor plan joint arrangement is GH. So I'm going to label this I. I'll label this J. So we're going to create section drawing for section II and section DD now. So I'm going to start with section JJ. So the first thing I'm going to do, I will change the section heading to section JJ. Then I'm going to delete all this except the grid line. I'm going to delete the dimensions also and the elevation tags. So what remains now on this drawing are the heading, the structural grid and the dimension. Now if you remember, the thickness of our slab is, I'll start drawing from top down, from the top of the slab to I'll draw the slab element which is 150 mm thick. I'll draw the blinding below the blinding, say 2 cm 20 mm below the 150 mm facade concrete, the 150 mm concrete. Then our hardcore, I will draw it, then the earth, and also draw the foundation wall supporting the ground floor slab. So I will use the rectangular command now to draw my facade concrete, which is 150 mm thick. So I'm going to click on this point. I will use dimension parameter to draw my rectangle. Type D on your keyboard, enter. Then I'm going to press 30,000 as my length. 30,000 because my length from grade line 1 to 7 is 30,000. 5 meter, 10 meter, 15, 20, 25, 30. My width 150 mm, 150 mm thick slab. So I've denoted the oversized concrete on the ground floor level. with the rectangle, but the edge of the rectangle edge does not end at this green line. It extends 115 to the left. So I'm going to extend it 115 to the left. I'll do the same thing for this corner. We'll extend it 115 to the left. So I've denoted my foundation wall. I want my foundation wall for this slab. I will draw my foundation wall now for this slab, and I want it to be 1.5 meters from the bottom of my overside concrete. So I've activated my line command. I'll draw a line downward from the bottom of the overside concrete. So I'll enter 1,500. That is 1,500 mm, 1.5 meters. So this dimension, I'm going to copy it inward to 30 mm because that is the width of my foundation wall. So what I'm going to do quickly, I'm going to select the two. I'm going to select the two. Okay, before doing that, I'll draw a break line at the bottom. I want to draw a break line at the bottom, so I'll type BR. BL, you type BL, you see break line on your command line. So click on it. So before doing that, you should specify the size of your break line. So you type S on your keyboard. So you enter the size of your break line. I want it to be say 80 mm size. My extension, I want my you also specify your extension. You type E. Say you want your extension to be 100 mm. So now I can specify my break line by clicking on this point of the wall to this point of the wall and clicking the position of the break line. So my break line has been specified. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to copy the break line with the two vertical lines to the other green lines to denote the foundation wall. So I'm doing that now. 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 Below the overside concrete will be my blinding. So say I want to use a blinding thickness of 2 cm, that is 20 mm. So I'm going to draw a line, connect it to this point. I will select that line and I will move it 20 mm downward. So 20 mm downward. You can see the thickness 20 mm downward. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this line to other position too. Doing that now. Doing that now. Now below my blinding, I'll place my hardcore, and I want my hardcore to be 600 mm thick. So I'll select this blinding line. I will duplicate it 600 mm down. So enter 600. No, I don't want it 600 mm thick. Say I want it 300 mm 300 mm thick. Say I want, okay, I will press the escape command to end the command. So my blinding 300 mm thick, I will copy it to other position. So I'm copying to the other position, my hardcore. Say my earth is beneath the hardcore, but I will need to denote it by some thickness. You'll see why. So I'll show you why in a moment. I'm going to copy it down, say 500, 0.5 meters. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to specify the specify how the article is going to look like. So I'm going to do my line command. Let me deactivate the auto first so that I'll be able to draw. So um enter any dimension. I'll use the dimension on the screen 112.7 point blah blah blah. I will tab it. I want my angle to be 60. This is what I'm looking for, 60. This is what I want to specify, 60 degrees. So I've done this. I'll do the same thing from this point. The length dimension can be anything. I will tap to my angle. I want it to be 60 also. So once you have done this, you can trim your line. I'm going to trim it using the trim command on my ribbon. So when you click on the trim, press enter on your keyboard, then specify what you want to trim. I'm trimming now. So this is my hardcore symbol. I'll copy it everywhere. So do this, do this, do this, do this. So this hardcore extends into my foundation wall. I don't want it like that. But I can extend the line backward. So this is going to look like. This hardcore symbol, I can duplicate it to other position because the dimension spacing are the same. So I'm going to select all the hardcore symbols, and I will copy, duplicate to other position. Now for my edge symbol, I'm going to use the arch command on my drop panel on my ribbon, and I will click on this on the pattern, click on this arrow here where my cursor is. Then I will use what can I use here? I'll use this to denote the edge. So I'll click on this area. Oh, my AutoCAD is hanging. Click on this area, on that area, and now we press escape to end the command. So what I'm going to do now, I will copy this hash pattern. I'll duplicate it to other position too. Then I don't need this line again. Only use the line to get to denote an area for the edge. Now I've denoted my edge appearance on the section design. Say I want to change the size of the edge specification. Say I want it to be to not be I want to reduce the density of the symbol. I'm going to say enter 5 here. Too much. Enter 2. So I'll leave it at 2. I think I like it at 2. No, I think I prefer 1. Leave it at 1. So this is my edge symbol. Now I'm going to label the elements in my section drawing. Um, I'll use this text label for my labeling. So I'll duplicate this text label downward. I'll put it here. I will change the size of the label so it will be smaller. At 800 now, change it to say 250. Too small. Change it to 300. So I'll leave it at 300. I'll position it somewhere here. My first label will be 150 oversight concrete. I'll copy this text label downward by say 500. Okay, I want to copy it. Let me move it downward a bit because it's interfering with this block wall. I'll move it downward a bit. I will then copy, duplicate it downward by 500. I'll enter 20 mm blinding. 20 mm blinding below the oversight concrete. I will duplicate the text downward by 500 again. We have 300 mm hardcore. 300 mm hardcore. 500 mm downward duplicate. Our earth sphere. Our earth sphere can be anything. So little earth sphere. So I'm going to draw a line. Say from somewhere. My paper is somehow hanging now. Draw a line from somewhere here. I'm going to pull it down here. Now I'll use the donuts to mark each of my elements I want to label. So type DO. So you see the donuts on your command line, click on it. Specify inner dimension as 0, outer dimension as 50. You position it here. So position it say here. Position it here for the hardcore. You also position it say here. I'm going to move it. So I select this donut here. I'll move it downward a bit. I will select this one, move it downward a bit. So draw this line downward. So the donut is used to tag each of the elements of my drawing. So I'll draw an horizontal line, say from here. So this is, I will duplicate this 500 mm below. I'll do it at 1000. Also do it at 1500 to denote my edge fill. So now I've labeled my elements on the section drawing. What I want to do now, I want to change the color of my oversight concrete and my foundation wall to blue color. So I'm going to select this object, right click, property. I will change the color to blue. I'll do the same thing for the foundation walls. So select this object, type match property on your screen. On your command line, click on match property. So apply this property to all the foundation walls. Now I will denote my hash pattern for the oversight concrete. Click on the hash pattern on my draw panel on my ribbon hatch. I will change the, I will use the ARCONC hash pattern. I will place the hash pattern here. Then I will enter escape on my keyboard to end the command. So what I will do now, I will select the hash pattern, this small hash pattern I created here, and I will drag it, extend it to the end of the oversized concrete here. So I'll specify my oversized concrete hash pattern for section JJ. So I've placed my hash pattern in the drawing. So what I want to do also, I want to also place hash pattern for my foundation wall. So I'll click on hash pattern again. Um, I'm going to use ANS1 ANSI32 for my foundation wall. Click on it, change the density of the hash pattern, say to 20. I think I like it the way it is like this. Click on escape to end the hash pattern. I'm going to edit the hash pattern. I'll draw it to the end of this line. So I'm going to duplicate the hash pattern using a copy command. So I'll use this base point here at the top of the oversized concrete to duplicate the hash pattern all over. So what I'm going to do now quickly, I'm going to copy this elevation tag to my drawing here. So this what in section JJ cuts the 600 oversized concrete. So this elevation tag will be plus 600, 0 plus 600. Okay, I think I used to use meters, 0.600 meters. We do the same thing for section II. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to show you the process. I will let you do it yourself. I'm going to pause my screen and I'll show you how it's going to look when I'm done. So this is an assignment for you. You draw section II. You produce section II drawing for the ground floor plan general arrangement. You know that section II cuts the foundation wall at A, at B, at C, and at E. So you do that for section II. Now you will see on my screen section II with the two oversized concrete elevation at 0.6 meters and at 0.445 meter structural slab elevation. You will see the foundation walls at grid line A to E. So this is how your drawing is going to it's going to look like when you have drawn it following the procedure I used to draw the section JJ drawing. This comes to the end of this tutorial session. In our next tutorial session, we're going to duplicate the first floor general arrangement drawing by using a copy command for the roof floor general arrangement here. And then we're going to make some edits to the drawing so that we are going to specify how our flat roof drawing is going to look like at the end of the day. Thank you for watching the video.